Guys, you want to have some fun? Let's do it. Okay, so this is earlier today. Jake Tapper. It's kind of weird seeing him on another network, which is called Morning Joe and MSNBC.
Is he pimping the book?
Huh?
Is he pimping the book?
He's pimping it hard. It's funny because Alex Thompson is not a TV guy, and thank God for Jake. So there's a reason there for this. But they asked him about that dreaded night.
I want to ask you about the debate because you were there.
I remember.
You have a closer look than anybody, you and Dana Bash, when this whole thing obviously cracked open and everything you're reporting in the book became undeniable to the public, not just to people behind the scenes. Your conversation with the president at the debate, you write about in the book. And then for both of you, what happened in the immediate aftermath?
So this is Willie Geis asking the question. And by the way, yes, Morning Joe was there, and his hair is getting bigger every day.
At night among Democrats and in the White House.
So I've now watched the debate on TV or on my computer because for the book, to write about write the book. And I will tell you that it was horrible on TV and it was worse in person. It was worse in person.
Worse in person. And it was pretty bad on TV. I mean,
he was just having a bad night.
Can we all admit that was pretty bad?
Just a bad night. It was a one-off.
Yeah, it was bad. But being there in person, well,
it was disturbing. We have little iPads that we can use to write to the control room. I don't know why this isn't like something I have on my desk every day.
I want that.
I know, you should really get it. It's fantastic. It is fantastic, but they don't want to hear from us. I think that's what it is. That's why we don't all have iPads.
They just want you to rap.
But this wasn't exactly rap. So I wrote, like, when in that first answer where he said we finally beat Medicare, I wrote, because I didn't know who was in the control room, but I wrote holy smokes, because it was obvious that there was this was just historically bad. A president.
Historically bad. Not kind of bad. The kind of historically bad where they're going to write about this in books.
The worst presidential debate performance in the history of presidential debate. Dana wrote a note to me saying he just lost the election. After the debate, he and First Lady Biden came down to where we were, and they didn't seem to have any idea of what just happened, or he didn't at least. And he apologized for having a cold, and he said, can you believe how much this guy lies about Donald Trump, who was probably in the air by then. He left immediately. It was so awkward, I didn't know what to say. I was trying to make small talk. I had Phillies cufflinks on, and I showed them to the First Lady because she's from Willow Grove. But I didn't know what to say. Then they left. He goes something like, I guess we'll go see what the commentators have to say. And then,
let me tell you what they had to say. Wow. That was awful. Huh? That was the worst thing we've ever seen. What do you guys think about that? Anybody else?
I think that went well.
You think that went well? The Titanic. Hey, look, outside of the sinking, this thing was pretty smooth, right? Like, we were doing good.
And to our not reception, but just like all the people that put the debate together. And we were watching all the shows, and this is in the book. The response from MSNBC I thought was really telling, because everybody was just shocked. Everybody had the same reaction you guys had the next morning, which was just like, I can't even believe this. What was that? This is a crisis. Democrats are freaking out, which made me feel like, okay, I didn't make that up.
No, you didn't make that up. Now, you ignored it for a long time, which was not a good thing, along with everybody else.
Oh, he didn't just ignore it. He made excuses for it.
He made some serious excuses for it. And I think the thing that is most telling and he's doing a mea culpa here. The best you can. You got to sell books. And he recognizes, and there's a difference. The people that are going to break stories like this are the people that are in and around the White House. He's not. He's in a studio guy. But you could have seen with your eyes what was going on. I mean, I joked yesterday, and I continue to joke, that Stevie Wonder could have saw how bad this was. Right? We all recognize how bad this was. But the media was already in a bad light. The media had struggled in a major way. And you had the right versus left in the media, which isn't very good, and it can be very ridiculous at times as everybody nitpicks. But, everybody tells their side of a story, and that's frustrating. You hear Ken and I bitch about that all the time. Gotta look up 12 different articles to get the story and put it together. But the media lost itself in a way here that was something I don't think they realized, because while the excitement was there about this book and a lot of people talking about it, what's happening now is they're having their comeuppance. in a serious way. And that once moral high ground of feeling like they were superior in all of this stuff has disappeared, as it should. Again, and I understand, like Alex Thompson, the guy that you don't hear him speak a lot, right? Because Jake is much better on that side of things. Alex, and he's not bad, but Alex, he went after him hard. And what happened? They stiff-armed him. They kept pushing him further away from the White House. Then they got the media to say, hey, they're coming after the president, and it's all baloney. It's right-wing talking points. He knew something was up because he was having people on the inside kind of feed him a few things here and there. But the eyeball test and everything else was tremendous. And anytime anybody inside the White House pool mentioned anything, they got blown out. And even yesterday, he was on with Katie Couric, and I was surprised. But Tapper, she was very forward in saying, hey, look, you went after Laura Trump pretty hard. And, you tried to push it off as it was this or it was that. And it wasn't. Right? Like it wasn't. It wasn't all the things you thought it was. And I thought to myself, man, that's pretty, he goes, it was my fault. That was my bad. Because remember what it was? She went and said, you could tell he's got a decline. There's a cognitive decline. And he's like, he's got a stutter. You failed. You failed in a major way. You had an opportunity. And why it matters, as I continue to tell, because I've been on a bunch of lefty shows and all kinds of stuff, this matters because the cover-up was not arguably the biggest cover-up and the biggest failure of the media in I can't even tell you. In my lifetime, certainly. When people say, is this bigger than Watergate? For the media, it is. The difference with Watergate is the president did something wrong knowingly, and they figured it out. This president didn't know much, and the media knew there was things going on. They ignored it because of who the other guy was running. And they were complicit and in some cases played along with it. And same thing goes for the Democrats. The Democrats are the reckoning coming with the Democrats is, I think, going to be huge. And here's the problem, though. You got the Republicans, right? I mean, at what point in time do they jack the pooch at something stupid and ridiculous? I mean, come on. I mean, I'm waiting.
Well, their mistakes are forgivable, Chad, because they're the good guys.
Everybody's the good guys. No. None of their mistakes are forgivable. And the Republicans have an opportunity here, if they get their heads out their butts and they do this right, to not only grab a large swath of America in a way that even, where people who aren't fans of everything Trump does held their nose when they voted for Trump, because those are the people that got Trump over the line. All that being said, if you do this right, man, you can hold on to power for quite a while. But that's a big if. That is a very big if. Because we've seen both sides, when you look like they're going to cross the line first, they trip themselves up. And that happens a lot. But the Democrats, I mean, what do you even, even today, they watching, and I'll see if I can find it. I pulled some audio from Morning Joe because Mark Halpern had him on and said, all right, so better than he's ever been. You're going to want to mark my words, start the tape rolling. He tried to play his way out of that